I'm a man of Nintendo and blockchain, but no one ever talks about this game franchise other than like Luigi Fan 00001. Makes plush roleplays. I mean, Jesus Christ, it sold way too much and generated a good quotations franchise for babies, casuals. So if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail, title, intro, and the imagery, we're talking about Angry Birds. And yes, there is like 7 million different games out there. I'm gonna put things I'm gonna actually talk about in this video on screen. So those are the only ones I played. I know there's a racing game, there's a Star Wars, and a Christmas special edition, and no. Shut up, you go back to your room. I don't want to see your unoriginal face ever again. Story. Characters. Angry Birds, albeit annoying, has an iconic and unique diverse set of characters unlike Poppy, and they have defining traits that stick to what they do in the games. So take Red over here. He's simple and pulls a page from Mr. Red Luigi, and from such a basic shape, he reeks an aura of character which has no personality. Chuck is precise, his sharp edges dictate him as aerodynamic, and you can tell that this dude actually means business. The Blues are smaller versions of Red, and hinges on the fact that these dudes are quantity over quality. And Glass, which is what they break best, also kind of shows those qualities. Bomb's a bomb. I know, great design. Race does matter because me, oh my, Bomb, Blue, and Chuck all show what they break best by their color. Terrence, you can also see as a similar design to Red, just larger and slightly paler, so while they share not having an ability, you can tell that this dude packs a punch this time.
And look who it is, we got Antonio Toenails Tony, baby! Matilda is a bit of a tricky one. She has an explosive egg built into her, and you can use it for multiple carpet bombing sessions. And as a plus, her flying corpse can be used as a strategical projectile. I could have made a million jokes about how stupid the concept for this character is, but the wiki just did it for me. Also, hold up, she was a dude? You're telling me something turned this Chad into a woman, and like no one's questioning about it, because this means that literally every single member in the flock is probably a dude. These eggs, who are they even laid by? Is there some kind of like girl version of a character? Oh my god, there is! Oh my god, there's 2 of them! I can't do this. No, you're actually not telling me that this is the case. I demand a refund! The hell, Rovio? Now let me introduce you to the best bird in the entire series, Hal and Bubbles. Starting with Hal, he was blessed to us by the gods on level 6-4 on the original Angry Birds. What a fitting number, 6-4, it has a certain ring to it. It shall be the number remembered for this reason only. And shut up, N64 Z-Axis, you were here by Star Fox! Look, Hal was a bystander, and he just couldn't get invited into a mainstay. He wasn't included in so many games. The game he was included instead gave us a collection of bad redesigns. Like, I'm looking at these right now and it's reminding me of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Now, apart from the looks, Hal's power is pretty unique from the rest of the game.
So when he opens his mouth, he makes a boomerang. Simple, but ultimately perfect.
Taking a slight detour from the characters who should be invited for Smash Bros.
Stella is a good bird in her sister franchise games, but plot twist, she is absolutely garbage in the mainline games. Like, I get it, you're a girl, you like cheap bubble blowers that you can buy in the Chuck E. Cheese prize corner, but until you get buffed as a certain guest appearance, that's right, we're taking away your privileges and declassifying you into the Roblox peasantry because this... It's pretty underwhelming.
Moving on.
Bubbles the Destroyer of Worlds is the inflatable underdog. He be a small bean of freaking death, and honestly it's just a top tier bird. Like, I mean, I stan Hal because of his big, long beak. But damn, Bubbles actually packs the meat and potatoes of a great Angry Birds character. He's S tier. Are Tito's videos popular anymore? I don't care. And Silver, who? This gal came out of absolutely nowhere, and even the obscure ones had dedicated animations introducing these boys. But now she's in 2 commercials, 3 games, and yet she gets a main role in a movie. Actually, now that I think about it, species-wise, it's a falcon. Does this mean that she has relation to the Mr. Big Boy pay-to-win I only appear in the game for 3 frames mighty eagle? Is said eagle a daycare Karen and want to get their precious relative into all the main events? Is this section going off topic? Yes, yes, and no. I can talk about anything in this video, so the original, Seasons, and Rio does have its differentiations, but I think these represent the core aspects of Angry Birds. What the game is about, and what it tries to do in order to get people going. I think the best way to explain these first few games is that they are more strategy-based. This franchise does ran on strategy despite its marketing, and uses its character in such ways where you need to be smart if you want to get 3 stars. Like, this mobile game isn't easy, some of these levels are pretty tricky. It does run dry rather quick if you suck at these games, I'm not talking from experience, but with some cool level design and very basic characters with basic mechanics, and they are really good at making you feel like you're smart. Seriously, getting these 3 stars is a bragging right. Now these games paired ever so nicely with the craze of smartphones. These first 3 games blew right into the mainstream.
Stop smiling, 90% of the people playing this are pooping.
And essentially made the base for what was to be a very, very long line of video games, merchandise, movies. And overall, if you want to start playing some Angry Birds in your spare time, this trilogy is a great place to start. Then we move on to this game. I think this was one of the best Angry Birds games in the entire franchise. Space was kinda when at least I felt that Rovio was growing as a company. Like, these 3D renders seemed much more professional, the level design, the gravity mechanics. It felt like an actual installment, an evolution that kept the good parts and switched up the formula just enough that it felt like a sequel. And they have so many cool stuff in space that I wish would come back in a later Angry Bird game. Like, unique boss battles for every world, changing the gravity by blowing up entire planets, having sections of space where your birds aren't affected by gravity. Heck, I wanted to see laser eyes again. Chuck was super useful with his rebranded Terminator-esque homing shot that was super cool. And the theming! They really did try their absolute dangest to make sure every world would bring something new to the table. With so much polish put into this game, Angry Birds Space could arguably be the best Angry Birds game ever. It even made it onto that year's YouTube Rewind for exactly 1 frame. Ain't that nice? I guess. Now after this game, Rovio kinda took a break in the mainline department. It would start to pump out more spin-offs than the main series. So, where did this lead to? Angry Birds Epic was really weird. Like, this was Rovio's first attempt to make an RPG. This time, with Chimera. They made Train Your Brain with Dr. Kawashima. That's not a DS. Anyway, now, this game was when they started to use the Toons design for the characters, which, if you can't tell, looks way more animated than any of the original designs. Like, these aren't Angry Birds, these are emotional birds. You can set up a dating sim, and it wouldn't look as weird as if you were to do it 1 to 2 years ago. This was a welcome upgrade to the brand of the series, and ultimately led to many of the design choices you can even see in the movie. Like Matilda's gender! And as for the gameplay, it's surprisingly deep. It can be really rewarding if you play your cards right, and it's really engaging, and I'd call this a successful attempt. Here waiting for Angry Birds Epic 2 Echoes of an Elusive Age Final Chapter Prologue Dream Drop Chain of Memories Awakening HD Definitive Edition Deluxe, now with the new Funky Mode! Now this led to just the questionable pieces of games in the series. Call me Angry Birds because this ain't looking like a Rovio game, which leaves us with Pop. It's a very, very basic bubble popper. I mean, look at the art style. I'd call this game an Infinity Gauntlet because it basically matches every cash grab bubble game for the mobile market. And seriously, where are Hall and Bubbles? My lips are touching the microphone. Like some executive had to make these characters, design these characters, and basically throw them out the window and put them specifically in the obscure games. Like freaking Transformers. Although not gonna lie, going back to that point, Grimlock looks really cool. Oh my god, Jesus Christ, he looks so swag. Oh my god. We stan Hal in his household. Prepare to see me in anime conventions literally dressing up as a green bird that will have a beak that is proportionally larger than the size of the body. Thank you. Alright, now this is where it got controversial. Before we cover the one small hope that is the fifth game of the franchise, we need to cover the current state of Rovio.
What's your name? Hal? I've seen you do something strange before, right?
Let's see, I'm really
Doesn't
good
matter.
at
Launch him. Oh, this guy looks good.
He's gonna make it.
This is incredible. We're witnessing history right now.
Nope. Hey, he's coming back. He's coming. Duck. Get down.
Did we win?
I have my fair shares of opinions on this move, or movie. I don't know, as somebody who played these games, there's clearly a lot of love put in here. But if you put these two designs side by side, you can tell why people pulled out their pitchforks. This first one was simple. It was iconic. This other one, it's kind of a cringy mess. I mean, Chuck looks like he was driven over by a car, and these are just a marketing ploy. I really kinda didn't like the pigs. It was a logical direction for the character, but I wanted them to differentiate themselves from the minions. But it's whatever. At least they were the villains and they were portrayed by the movie to be bad. Honestly, that's a pretty smart move. Oh no, never mind, they come back as an anti-hero. Blast the Shadow the Hedgehog music! This change in brand obviously affected a lot of the games they were marketing. Evolutions, Match, freaking Dream Blast and Blast, what are these titles? And as the years went by, it did feel like they were taking pre-existing games of the App Store and reskinning them into Angry Birds Holidays. Rovio tells us that the consoles are dead. Breaking news, no they're not. And I hope we can eventually get a AAA Angry Birds 6 or 3 on my Switch when Rovio decides to listen to the fans after their obscure YouTube community page poll. Now, instead of ending this video in some kind of somber and kind of sad note, I'd like to end this on the elephant in the room. The shining jewel in the plebeian pile of modern AB games. That is Angry Birds 2. And just like in the name, wait up for Angry Birds Part 2. Bye!